Let's get this going. Let's get this going. Let's get this going. Let's get this going. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back with another video, man. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks for the love and support. If you're new to the channel, go and hit the subscribe button, man. We almost at 400 subscribers. Join me on this journey. I'm gonna be dropping videos back to back. Word of the wise, I got to talk to another YouTuber. I'm gonna leave a link in the description below to his page. We was chopping it up at how basically it was motivation to get my grind up, so I'm gonna be dropping videos back to back, so prepare to be flooded, man. But today, as y'all can see by the title, this is gonna be ultra small animals, man. Animals, pretty much bugs, whatever you want to call them, that you don't even think of, stuff that you can't even see. The bugs that's the size of your blood, the size of your blood. The bugs that's the size of your blood, man. Sorry for cutting that out. I messed up too much. I got tongue tied too much on that one. I just had to cut that out. Had to. Without further ado, I ain't even finna waste y'all time no more. We just gonna get into the video.
It was the last half of the 17th century. Antoine van Leeuwenhoek, who had been working with fabrics for many years, had to constantly monitor the quality of the threads.
Got it.
This wasn't easy at the time. Magnifiers didn't give the right magnification, and no one could fix it. No one except van Leeuwenhoek himself. He was going to keep his unique technology a secret, but he just couldn't keep quiet, because his discoveries changed the fate of humanity.
Man, I need some of that right now. I definitely need some of that.
Microcosm is a stunningly beautiful place. What do you think it is? Christmas decorations?
Shells.
Candy?
Snail shell.
No, just ordinary sand under a microscope.
Sand? That's how sand looks? It look like a bunch of different stuff that don't even look like. Hold on, I thought sand was like identical. I thought they was like crystals. My best guess is that thing in the middle was a sand. That thing in the middle is a sand. The rest of everything else around it, you're not finna tell me that's sand, bro. I'm not going. Hell no. That is a snail shell. That's a shell. I see some other shells in there that look like a rock. But my best guess is that little thing in the middle. Y'all see it. I'm gonna try to point to it. Y'all, that thing right there. I'm gonna circle it. Whatever. I'm gonna circle it. But I thought my camera was finna die. But that's what I think it's saying. Everything else, nah.
But this is only one side of a tiny world. It's not like a beautiful fairy tale where a bunch of funny creatures live quietly side by side and dream only of humans finding them and studying them sooner.
Bro.
See this little guy? It belongs to the dinoflagellates. And it's got a knife. Hey, you know who you're talking to? Hey, wait, where you going? Okay, that was a short digression.
That look like a real life knife, bro. Like they really fighting each other right now. And think about it, they in their own world, bro. I promise you. Just like we look at our world. Imagine if we zoom out into like space and stuff like that. What our planet is just like microscopic, bro. We are the smallest people compared to like other suns and stars and stuff like that. But we in our own world. I guarantee you that's how it is with them. It just look like they swimming around or something. That's exactly how it is with them. Like that's crazy to think it's another world right in front of us. It's just microscopic, bro. Like that's crazy.
The microcosm does have its weapons and its wars, but the balance of power in these shots is a little different. The transparent barrel is the Polycricos cophoide. When hunting, it shoots a projectile with a rope tied to tow its prey afterwards. Yes, this knife is a microscopic harpoon that acts like a hypodermic needle. Most likely, the predator uses it to inject something into its prey, perhaps some kind of paralyzing toxin. Right under our...
and they just look like dots, bro. Like, I promise you, they just look like dots. Do they have eyes or something like that? I just want to know if they have eyes, bro. That's all I want to know.
Noses, there's a fierce struggle for survival that even scientists sometimes don't know about. Microorganisms come into existence, feed, multiply, try to make sure they don't get eaten, use microweapons with microdoses of toxin, and die. Even microdeath doesn't look like what we're used to. The organisms just disintegrate. It's as if each one has its own personal Thanos attached to it, who snaps his fingers at the right moment.
Come on now, folks. Like, come on, man. I ain't getting paid for this. Back to my video.
But why is the microcosm so different from our world? Its predators don't look like predators.
They
Death
don't.
is different from death, and the appearance of organisms, well, when you get used to having creatures with legs around you, it's hard to believe that something that looks like snot lives and hunts somewhere. No offense, slugs. In fact, that's the wrong way to put it. We are used to think the planet belongs to humans. You know, man is the king of nature, blah, 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 but we've never owned the planet.
And think about it, folks. Think about it. They are micro predators, whatever you want to call them. Living things like that's extra small like that, bro. Think about the stuff that's microscopic to them. They so small to the point where it's like they don't even have a lot of developed limbs and stuff like that. They just look like dots. Think about the stuff that's microscopic to them. Like, that's crazy. That's so crazy.
60% of the Earth's biomass consists of microorganisms. The fact that they're too small is compensated for by the quantity. So germs are everywhere. Literally everywhere.
Everywhere.
In the human body alone, there are over 100 trillion of them. That's about 10 times more than the cells of the body itself. One drop of seawater contains about 1 million bacteria and 10 million viruses.
That's crazy. That is so. And we wonder why people do not go swimming in the you wonder why people do not go swimming in real life ocean water, bro. Like, that is so wild to me. It is so wild. And it can affect people in 2 different ways. I promise you it can affect people in 2 different ways. Just how they said you can't get around bacteria and stuff like that. You either gonna have a germaphobe who don't do nothing, who stay with hand sanitizer, who don't want to touch nothing. You gonna have them people, or you gonna have people who just don't care because they know they can't get out of it. I don't know which person I am right now, because at this moment in time, I'm going to Vegas for my birthday. I don't know if I'm going to I don't know if I'm gonna go to the beach while I'm out in Miami. I don't know. I don't know yet, bro. Cause you see these little microscopic bugs, bro. It's just to think about them flying. I'm sorry for sharing this video with y'all. Just click off of it, man. If this is making you squeamish a little bit, I'm sorry. I love y'all.
There's even an opinion that the number of microorganisms on Earth exceeds the number of stars in the universe. And it's not just that there are more of them than there are of us. No matter how tiny and insignificant the microcosm may seem, it's changing the planet. And it's doing so right now. On April 20th, 2010, the Deepwater Horizon oil platform in the Gulf of Mexico exploded and caught fire. It resulted in a spill of 4.9 million barrels of oil, making the Deepwater Horizon incident the largest offshore oil spill in the world and the largest environmental disaster in U.S. history.
This is essentially one of the longest-running environmental disasters in the U.S.
It takes a huge amount of time, effort, and money to clean up such a huge spill and its consequences, but help came from an
oil and water don't mix. Oil and water don't mix at all.
Expected source. Natural bacteria absorbed at least 220,000 tons of oil and natural gas spilled as a result of the accident. Unfortunately, that's only 1,466,275 barrels. And the bacteria's appetite couldn't cancel out the damage the spill has already done to other living organisms. Well, at least they ate. It's unlikely that humans will learn to clean up oil spills at the same rate anytime soon. We've just begun to master the technologies that the inhabitants of the microcosm have not just mastered, but literally invented. For example, plankton can create a hurricane by gathering in a large group and heating the surface of the ocean. But a human will have to work hard to make it rain.
Since the 1946 experiments of Dr. Vincent Schaefer, we have known that some clouds can be modified through seeding to yield additional precipitation.
How does plankton look in real life? I hope they show it, because I sure don't know. Come on now, man.
Cloud seeding is a technology that helps fight droughts. It sounds pretty simple. Reagents such as desiccant salts are sprayed into the clouds from an airplane. The particles collect water vapor and, growing in size, fall as rain. To do this, however,
for the people, this be killing me so much. For the people who be going out there talking about it's a conspiracy theory, the government is controlling the weather or whatnot and stuff like that. It's no secret, bro. It's no secret. They advertise it right now. It's no secret they do stuff that affects the weather. It's never been a secret. They do it all the time. I don't understand why that's like a big mind-blowing type of thing. Why people think that's a big secret. It's not. It's not a conspiracy theory. They do it all the time. And they say they do it. We know they have machines that do it.
However, you often have to fly straight into a thunderstorm, which any pilot tries to stay away from. Perhaps it would be easier if people learned to negotiate with the microcosm. Okay, who am I kidding? So far, humanity's rather tried to subjugate microorganisms. Researchers have already created tiny, functional robots that can move around on 4 legs. Each of these legs is...
How? I promise you, I know that the government have, like, what do they call, microscopic machines or what? How did they build those, bro? How? That is so crazy. That's so crazy to me. I don't understand how the heck did you make something so small and it worked. Please, come on now.
Just about 100 atoms thick, but the robot has solar panels instead of batteries and can potentially move inside the human body where no tweezers or scalpel can reach. In short, people are almost ready to send their Terminator into the microcosm.
You're close. Give them to me, now.
Basically, like Iron Man with his nanites, I guarantee you the government have those. But it's like, it's so crazy to think. How steady are your hands? Or do machines make them themselves? Like, I just want to know, how steady and precise can you be to make something that microscopic as a machine? I'm just gonna continue.
And this is not the only example. Elizabeth Beatty and Denise Wong of the University of Pennsylvania are using the ability of bacteria themselves to turn tiny objects, sort of like living engines on a micro level. Now, this is even more like the beginning of a story about cyborgs. But the researchers claim that they have no plans for world domination, and the simplest bleach can destroy 99% of such robots. Can you feel it? Only 99.
I will destroy humans.
No, I take it back.
When you look at all these pictures, you begin to think that without a microscope, it's simply impossible to see the microcosm. Everything is too small for the human eye, even if you have perfect vision. But you just have to know where to look. It's enough to position the light source correctly next to a mushroom to see the tiny particles, the spores that fungi use to reproduce. Yes, it's not dust. Another method is ultraviolet light. Some fungi and bacteria, just like human body fluids, glow if you point a woods lamp at them.
Hey, that's
this,
true.
of course, won't help you see everything in detail, but you won't need any microscope. By the way, criminologists use this when they look for traces at crime scenes.
Like
This
blood
little baby can detect
for like blood, DNA, and nut, sperm, semen, whatever you want to call it. That stuff definitely glow, which is so weird.
trace amounts of Cheetos dust. What?
It do that.
In addition to ultraviolet lamps, they also use lasers. They can detect fingerprints like this. By the way, it's much more convenient than sprinkle everything with special powder. If you believe the crime shows, fingerprints are enough to convict a criminal. But in reality, it's a little bit more complicated. Attention, this may sound like complete nonsense, but koala fingerprints are almost indistinguishable from human fingerprints.
That is the weirdest shit ever, bro.
You'd expect something like this from
weird.
monkeys. In 1975, London detectives even collected prints from chimpanzees and orangutans at the local zoo into an entire file. But koalas? The reason why koalas have these prints is still a mystery to scientists. It's a whole different thing for most arboreal mammals. And although the possibility that a koala could leave a print at a crime scene is rather low, it's still the possibility to scientists. It's a whole different thing for most arboreal mammals. And although the possibility that a koala could leave a print at a crime scene is rather low, it's still not zero.
Fingerprints won't help you at all. My fingerprints are all over those paintings.
You know what, though? Forget fingerprints and blood type. You can be identified by your germ cloud. Each person emits a unique mixture of germs into the air. Unlike fingerprints or other traces, this process can't be controlled. The microcosm that people are used to ignore is much stronger than we are.
Get out of my personal space. Get out of it.
One person differs from another as much as one planet differs from another.
On Fulham Grade, they do not respect that at Six Flags. You know, I ain't even gonna put them out there because Six Flags, people at Six Flags, I swear they do not care. COVID going on. I went the other day. They don't care. They act like stuff is never happening. They act like it just never happened. At that point in time, it's beyond COVID. I don't care. Get out of my personal space, bro. I would have had the same reaction if COVID wasn't going around. Why are you that close to people? I don't get it. Do you want to cut me or something? Like, you that thirsty to get on the ride? Chill out, man.
Organisms themselves are very different from each other. And I'm not just talking about appearance. They even sound different. Wait, they sound? Did you think tiny organisms don't make sounds? Different parts of the human body have different communities of bacteria, viruses, and even fungi. And a project called Biota Beats turns each area into music. You can think of it as music biohacking, a petri dish instead of a record.
I did this before. I did this in science class. I did that. I remember how it go. Shit. How do it go? Damn it. How did it go? I think we had to go, do swaps, or did we have to, we had to touch a lot of stuff. We had to go through the day touching stuff. And, we put our fingerprints in the thing. And we wanted to see how many germs or something it was. And it looked like that. It looked just like that. It was the weirdest thing ever, I promise you. Like, it tripped me out seeing that there was that much stuff on my hands. And I don't even think twice when I get to biting on my nails and stuff like that.
Algorithms to convert microorganisms into sounds. And you know, our bodies turn out to make pretty good beats. Okay, real microorganisms sound a little different. It took scientists a lot of work to record these sounds, but the result is cosmic. That is, literally, if I let you listen to the sound of Jupiter, you would hardly notice the difference.
What is making these sounds? What? I don't know. Nah. Go back. Run that back. You're not gonna tip. What is making these sounds? I'm making a sound right now because I have vocal cords, bro. Where's these sounds coming from? How are they I'm gonna need y'all to elaborate more, man. Elaborate more.
It took scientists a lot of work to record these sounds, but the result is cosmic. That is, literally, if I let you listen to the sound of Jupiter, you would hardly notice the difference.
What sound do Earth make?
And frankly, the microcosm resembles the cosmos in many ways, even visually. Here, for example, isn't that a nebula? And if you zoom in even harder, it already looks like the light of distant stars. Oh, I think the telescope is starting to malfunction a bit. Is that a pepperoni? Remember when I said that humans are like planets, especially for microorganisms? They can even travel from one person to another. But what about real planets? There's a theory that all life on Earth appeared because some meteorite brought with it some viable bacteria from a galaxy far, far away. So far, there's been no confirmation, or almost none. In the atmosphere of Venus, we managed to find phosphate, which is very rarely found in natural conditions in large quantities. A possible cause is bacterial activity, so there might be life on Venus. And if that sounds lame to you, here's a simple analogy. If you come across a wrapper in the middle of the woods, you'd probably think that a person had thrown it there. Of course, you could assume that the forest made the wrapper on its own, but so far, we can't be 100% sure.
That's not the same. That's not the same. It could have just been there because we're not the only living organisms in the planet. I mean, in the freaking galaxy, universe. We couldn't have just been. Who said that? What is it? Phosphate was just inhabited by Earth. Nobody said. Who came up with that idea? Who said it? Nobody said. Who came up with that idea? Who said it?
Microorganisms can live far beyond the Earth. To clarify this question, the most resilient creatures on the planet to the moon. Most likely, they survive hibernation. However, if the next person on the moon suddenly finds a thriving colony, surprised. See you later.